In first 11 days, Treasury distributes $105.3 billion through coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds. May 20, 2021. In the 11 days since launching a $350 billion relief program for states, cities, tribes and territories, Treasury approved more than 1,500 recipients and disbursed approximately 30% of total resources. Washington. Today, the U.S. Department of the Treasury announced that it has distributed $105.3 billion to more than 1,500 recipients through the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds, established by the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. This $105.3 billion distribution is part of the $350 billion allocated in emergency funding for state, local, territorial, and tribal governments. Only 11 days since announcing the $350 billion allocation and guidelines on ways the funds can be used to respond to acute pandemic response needs, fill revenue shortfalls among state and local governments, and support the communities and populations hardest hit by the COVID-19 crisis, the department already distributed approximately 30% of the total allocation, and nearly half of the funds available for immediate disbursement, by close of business on Wednesday, May 19. Treasury is committed to ensuring these resources are disbursed as quickly as possible to eligible state, territorial, metropolitan city, county, and tribal governments to assist communities as they recover from the pandemic. This state and local aid program is going to provide transformative funding to communities across the country, and our Treasury team is focused on getting relief to these communities as quickly as possible, said Secretary of the Treasury Janet L. Yellen. In the past 11 days, almost a third of the funding has gone out the door, and I'm hopeful communities will be able to rehire teachers and help businesses reopen much sooner than otherwise. Of course, the work still continues. Over the last 11 days, the Office of Recovery Programs has spearheaded a multi-pronged outreach effort, including a contact center that has had more than 600 interactions with individuals seeking information on the program and how to apply for funds. This effort has also included numerous sessions to walk states, cities, territories, and tribes through the details of the program and application process, including webinars for tribal governments reaching over 2,500 attendees. The coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds provide substantial flexibility for each jurisdiction to meet local needs, including support for households, small businesses, impacted industries, essential workers, and the communities hardest hit by the crisis. Within the categories of eligible uses listed, recipients have broad flexibility to decide how best to use this funding to meet the needs of their communities. In addition to allowing for flexible spending up to the level of their revenue loss, recipients can use funds to support public health expenditures by, among other uses, funding COVID-19 mitigation efforts, medical expenses, behavioral health care, mental health and substance misuse treatment in certain public health and safety personnel responding to the crisis, address negative economic impacts caused by the public health emergency, including by rehiring public sector workers, providing aid to households facing food, housing or other financial insecurity, offering small business assistance, and extending support for industries hardest hit by the crisis. Aid the communities and populations hardest hit by the crisis, supporting an equitable recovery by addressing not only the immediate harms of the pandemic, but its exacerbation of long-standing public health, economic and educational disparities. Provide premium pay for essential workers, offering additional support to those who have borne and will bear the greatest health risks because of their service during the pandemic. And invest in water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure, improving access to clean drinking water, supporting vital wastewater and stormwater infrastructure, and expanding access to broadband internet. For an overview of the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds program including an expanded use of eligible uses, see the fact sheet. Find additional details on the state, local, territorial, and tribal government allocations on the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds webpage. To receive email updates on Treasury Department relief and recovery programs, sign up here.